Dragon Age 2 had its moments, but reused assets and a plot that focused entirely on one city left it feeling claustrophobic and worse, a bit cheap. BioWare had some work to do to get the franchise back on track. Thankfully, they've spent the last few years learning from their mistakes and cooking up something pretty special. Dragon Age Inquisition is a terrific fantasy tale that makes the troubled world of Thedas feel bigger and more alive than it ever has before. So you begin Inquisition as a clueless bystander caught up in events way beyond your control, who finds himself invested with the ability to close portals to the demonic realm of the Fade. How you interpret this power is really at the core of the game, and the underlying themes of faith and how institutions deal with sudden and incredible power offer some of BioWare's most interesting role-playing yet. Character creation is incredibly robust, allowing you to choose from 4 fantasy races that all have a different standing in the world of Thedas. I played as a slightly world-weary dwarf warrior who had little time for the god-bothering rituals of the Chantry, who were kind of Dragon Age's major church, and consistently denied that he was in any way touched by the divine. But you could just as easily play a lowly elven mage who firmly believes he's the true herald of the divine and smites anyone foolish enough to get in his way. The slightly plasticky looking faces of previous Dragon Age games have been replaced with some really sharp looking models, and there's loads of customization with scars, tattoos, haircuts and all that kind of thing to get your character looking the way you want them. Shaping your character's personality is very fun, and there's lots of meaty decisions and dilemmas to get your teeth into. Though the main plot is familiar fantasy, save the world and slay the dragon fare, at the core of Inquisition is the manner in which you wage what is essentially a religious war. The concept of religion has been relegated to the background in previous entries in the series, but now it's at the forefront of everything you do. Every interaction you have is coloured by your status as a theological, mythical figure, and it's how you use, abuse or avoid this power and responsibility that makes for Inquisition's most memorable moments. The writing is smart and the characters well drawn, from the strong but conflicted warrior Cassandra to the easygoing Iron Bull and debonair court mage Vivienne. Even the less charismatic members of the team like gruff Greywood and Blackwall and moody elf Solus have their moments. It's just nice to take a break from saving the world every now and then, to head back to base and chat with your team, get drunk with Iron Bull, tease Cassandra about her addiction to Varric's trashy crime novels, or just admire your beautifully designed mountain stronghold of Skyhold. Outside of your combat buddies, there's 3 equally well-developed members of your loyal council, each of which has their own quests, dialogues and motivations. Returning characters Leliana and Cullen represent the intelligence and military sectors of the Inquisition respectively, while sprightly newcomer Josephine handles the politics. Each of these agents can be utilised on your campaign map, a tactical view of the bordering powers of Orlais and Ferelden, where you'll plan your excursions and operations. As well as unlocking new regions, the map is packed with side missions to send your representatives on. These are completed in real time outside of regular gameplay and earn your faction new influence points, which unlock new perks, items and other goodies. You can also spend another resource, power, on the map to open up new zones. The world of Thedas is mind-bogglingly huge, a frequently spectacular fantasy landscape absolutely covered in quest markers, objectives, collectibles and secrets. In fact, the sheer scale is something of an issue early on. The Hinterlands is the first region you unlock, and it's almost overwhelmingly vast. Inquisition's story takes a while to kick into gear, and I almost wish that BioWare had put the first act closer, a gorgeous, breathtaking set piece that showcases the studio's brand of storytelling at its very best, a little earlier on. My advice is to do the first few story missions as soon as you can, because they unlock more world details and new mechanics that make exploration and power gathering far more meaningful. I don't want to spoil anything, so just trust me on that. Combat is probably Inquisition's weakest suite, a blend of Dragon Age 2 hack and slash and Origin's more considered tactical action that offers pyrotechnic fun but never feels quite as smart and deep as the best RPG battle systems. Sometimes I felt like I was going through the motions and simply spamming 3 or 4 signature attacks rather than approaching each fight with a new strategy. The much vaunted tactical camera mode is a nice addition, but despite playing a large chunk of the game on hard difficulty, I never really felt that much cause to use it. When I did, I tended to be gawping at the pretty fireworks and shiny armour rather than using it to outsmart a foe. But despite a lack of depth, Inquisition's combat is perfectly serviceable and enjoyable as a way to get you from point A to point B for the next plot point, unlockable zone or side mission. Despite the intimidating amount of content in the game, I never had that sinking feeling I often get in an Assassin's Creed game that I was wasting my time. Everything from clearing out rebel-held castles, which acts like a sort of thrilling fantasy version of Far Cry's outposts, to messing about with ancient elven devices, felt like it was advancing my character's goals and gaining him extra power, rather than ticking off meaningless numbers. A quick mention here for the dragon fights. There are 10 winged horrors to find across Inquisition's land map, and each battle is a crunching spectacle of violence that lingers long in the memory. When I took down my first dragon, striking the last blow in a blasted and scorched arena littered with dead minions and party members, just as my last potion ran out, it was a real moment to savour. In terms of difficulty and variety, I'd say they actually top even Skyrim's dragon fights. Ultimately, Inquisition is an excellent return to form after the claustrophobic and slightly rushed Dragon Age 2. It's an exciting and sprawling colossus of a game that rewards the player at every turn. While the first act is a little slow to get going, once a story has its hooks in you and the true scale of a world opens up before your eyes, it's easy to forgive early problems with pacing and a slightly lackluster combat system. It says a lot that after around 45 hours of gameplay, I was disappointed that the main plot was showing signs of coming to an end, and that as soon as I finished, I wanted to start the whole thing over again. Dragon Age Inquisition gets a very worthy 8.5.